In a slumbering city cradled beneath the shade of palm trees, where the winds whispered tales of ancient caravans, there lived a young merchant named Salem. His heart pulsed with adventure, and his eyes sparkled with a zest for life. He owned a modest shop tucked in a corner of the marketplace, selling saffron and silk, yet he always dreamed of finding a treasure that would elevate his name among merchants and fill his heart with joy. One evening, as he arranged his wares, an old storyteller approached, his beard white as cotton and his eyes concealing the secrets of ages. The storyteller sat on a tattered mat and said, "Salem, have you heard of the Jewel of Light?" Salem raised his eyebrows in surprise. "What is it?" he asked. The storyteller replied in a hushed tone, "A magical pearl hidden in the Cave of Winds, far in the heart of the desert. They say it grants wisdom and happiness to its finder, but the path to it is fraught with peril, and the jewel tests the heart of its seeker." From his pocket, the storyteller produced a tattered map and said, "Take it. But remember, not every shining path leads to light." Salem paid a few coins for the map, and that night sleep eluded him. His mind swam in dreams of treasure. At the first light of dawn, Salem prepared his pack. He placed in it light provisions, an old compass inherited from his father, and the worn map. He bid farewell to his aging mother, who warned, "My son, do not let greed blind your sight." Salem smiled, kissed her hand, and set off toward the desert. He walked for days beneath scorching sands and under an unforgiving sun. On the third day, as he rested in the shadow of a rock, he heard a faint whimper. Drawing closer, he found a small fox, its tail trapped between two stones. The fox trembled, and Salem with care freed it. The fox gazed at him with eyes like glowing embers and said, "I won't forget your kindness, good man." Then it vanished among the dunes like a mirage. Salem pressed on, following the map, which at times seemed a riddle. After a week of travel, he reached the Cave of Winds at last. Its entrance swirled with small tempests that danced like specters, their sound akin to the murmur of jinn. Salem took a deep breath and entered, clutching an oil lamp that flickered with each step. Inside, he found branching tunnels, their walls carved with strange patterns that seemed to tell forgotten stories. Suddenly, a voice echoed, "Choose a path." But no, not all that glitters is gold. Stepping forward, Salem saw 3 tunnels. The first was lined with golden panels that shone like the sun. The second was studded with silver, reflecting the lamp's light like a nocturnal river. The third was dark, unadorned, with a cool mist wafting from it. Salem paused to think. Gold tempted the heart and silver enchanted the eye, but the dark tunnel seemed honest in its simplicity. He recalled the storyteller's words, "The jewel chooses its owner." Silently, he prayed, "If I am worthy of this light, guide me." He chose the dark tunnel and walked, his heart pounding between fear and hope. After steps that felt eternal, he reached a small chamber. In its center, on a stone pedestal, stood a simple wooden box, unadorned save for an old inscription, "Wisdom is for those who see." Salem opened the box cautiously and found a white pearl the size of an egg, radiating a gentle glow like moonlight. But before he could touch it, the little fox appeared suddenly and said, "Beware, Salem. The jewel grants wisdom, but it tests the heart. If you take it with greed, it will turn to dust. Think, what do you truly want from it?" Salem paused. He had dreamed of wealth, of a towering palace and ships bearing his name across the seas. But then he thought of his mother, toiling in the fields with weary hands, and the market children sleeping without supper. Closing his eyes, he said, "If you grant me wisdom, I will use it to sow goodness." He reached out and took the pearl. At that moment, a warmth coursed through his chest, as if a hidden light filled his soul. Emerging from the cave, Salem found the desert transformed into a lush oasis, its trees laden with dates and its streams singing. It was as if nature rewarded his pure heart. He returned to his city, the pearl in his pocket, but he did not boast of it. Instead, he sat with tribal elders, learning from the jewel how to settle disputes, how to farm in drought, and how to build a school for orphans. Soon, the city flourished, and caravans came from far and wide, not just for trade, but to hear the wisdom of the Merchant of Light, as they called him. One night, as Salem sat beneath the stars, the little fox returned. It said, "You chose the right path. Salem, the jewel was merely a mirror to your heart." Salem smiled and replied, "Wisdom lies not in the pearl, but in what we create with it." The moral: true treasures are not what you possess, but what you share with others.